Hi, everyone, and welcome to the live session. I am Neha Agrawal. I'm the founder of Wise Up Communications. And in this session today, we're going to talk about how can you get interviews with your resume. So, resume or CV is one of the most important documents when it comes to going for a new job, an internship, or even studying abroad. Correct? And now, first, let's understand why does it play an important role. So let's break this down. Let's take an example of a job opportunity that you're going for. For example, in any of the biggest tech companies like Facebook, Google, Amazon. So let's understand how many people actually even apply to these companies on a daily basis. Probably 1,000, 2,000. And how many people actually get shortlisted for the interviews after that? Probably 40 to 50, right? And how many people actually clear the interview and then get the job? Probably 4 to 5, based on the number of job positions that they have open. So if you think about it, getting yourself shortlisted from 1,000 2,000 applications to 40 to 50 is so much more difficult than actually clearing the interview and getting the job. And why is that? It's because you are not there physically to do the talking for you, right? It's this one piece of paper, your resume, which is doing the talking for you. Your skills, your experiences, everything is being communicated by this one piece of paper. That is why it's so much more difficult to clear the resume round than to actually clear the interviews and get the job. So, how do you even prepare a resume that really makes you stand out from other applications and get that job? So, today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some 5 tips with you and very relevant tips with you that generally people make mistake in. So, if you actually work on these things, you will have a better resume in front of you. And of course, if you want to learn these things in detail, we at Wise Up offer a course on professional resume building. It's just a 3 hour course, and in that entire course, I tell you what kind of resume format you should go for, how exactly should you prepare your resume, how should you arrange the content in your resume, what are some of the things you should include, not include. And then the best part about this course is that I offer you one-to-one feedback. So once you followed the course and you know how exactly you need to prepare your resume, I sit down with you and I tell you that, see, for example, Yashvi, I say, Yashvi, see, these are the mistakes that you're making. Work on these mistakes, change these sentences, right? This is the place where you can make it better. And that really helps you in creating a resume which is perfect and ready for submission. Okay, so if you do want to know a little bit about this course, it's a live course which is starting next weekend, 24th and 25th of September. That's next weekend. We'll have the sessions in the morning. So you can check it out in the chat box. I would love to answer your questions, but let me just quickly move into the points that I want to share and then I'll have a look at your questions as well. Okay. Yeah. So, coming to my first point, like even before you start preparing your resume, you need to understand who is your audience, right? Who is actually going to read your resume and what are they looking for in your resume? So, generally, what happens nowadays is that the big companies, they receive 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 applications on a daily basis. So it's not possible for them to hire people who go through these 5,000, 10,000 resumes every day. So what do? They have something which is called as the ATS, or the application tracking software. And when you send your resume to them, the first screening happens through this ATS. The ATS scans your resume and then sees whether it's fit for that company or not. And only after that initial filtering is that it reaches a human being, which is an HR manager, who then looks at your resume. So, what exactly does the ATS even look for? Well, these are some things that I talk about in the course and how can you make your resume more ATS friendly. But understand that it all comes down to the job description at the end of the day, right? Generally, what we do is that we prepare one resume and we send it to all companies, all different roles, all different positions. We don't care which role are we applying for. This is my resume. This is what I have done in my life, and I'm going to send that out. Wrong. When you are preparing your resume, when you are sending out your resumes, please tailor it. Please edit it according to the job and the company that you are going for. Read the job description carefully. See what exactly are they looking for. What are some of the skills they are interested in, the years of experience they want, the kind of work experience you should have, and then edit your resume accordingly. Sometimes what happens is that we do have those skills but we don't mention it explicitly. For example, you apply to a company and that company explicitly says that we're looking for somebody who has very good MS Excel skills or very good presentation skills. Now generally what happens, we don't explicitly write these things on a resume, right? We will write our coding skills, we will write the softwares we know, tools we know, but we will not write we know MS Excel or we know MS PowerPoint, because we feel almost everybody knows that, correct? But when you look at the job description, when you read the job description and you see that somebody specifically wants this, then you should mention that on your resume and highlight that very clearly, that yes, I do have these skills that you are looking for. So, what's my first tip to you? My first tip to you is always know your audience. Think about what exactly are they looking for from your resume, instead of thinking about what I have, what are the skills I have, and I'll be putting that on my resume. Think from their perspective, what are they interested in seeing, and include those things in your resume. Okay, that's my first tip to you. Second, once you are clear about what exactly your audience wants, what you should do, the second thing that you should do is think about the amount of content that you're going to put on your resume. Now, generally, people have this question whether I should go for a one pager resume or whether I should go for a two pager resume. So, what's your response? What do you think? One pager resume or two pager resume? Any responses here? Anyone? Come on. Should we go for like a one pager or a two pager resume? Somebody's saying one page, one page. What about others? Two. Okay. All right. So the idea is, guys, that you can go for either. You can go for a one pager resume also, or you can go for a two pager resume also. But whichever number you're going for, make sure you fill those pages. Like if you're going for a one pager resume, make sure that one page is completely filled. If you're going for a two pager resume, make sure those two pages are completely filled. Don't submit a 1.5 page resume or one page and then 1/4 page of a resume. That does not look good at all. So based on your skills, your experiences, think about, will you be able to fill all the two pages? If yes, then you go for a two-pager resume. Otherwise, you stick to a one-pager resume only. In fact, recruiters have this opinion that if you have less than 5 years of work experience, you should technically stick to a one-pager resume only and not go for more. Okay? So think about this. That's the second tip that I'll share with you. And the next thing is, once you know whether you're going for a one pager or a two pager resume, the next thing you need to think is about the sections which are going to go in your resume. So, in general, the resume sections are personal information, education, work experience, leadership, achievements, extracurricular activities, hobbies and interests, skills and certifications. These are all the different sections that generally go in a resume, correct? But do you have to include all of them? No. Definitely, you have personal information that you need to include. Education, yes. Some form of work experience, yes. Some form of skills, yes. But all the other sections, you choose which ones you have to include based on your strengths and what you have done in your career. In fact, arrangement of the sections also takes place in that manner, based on your strengths, based on the quality of the experiences that you have. So, what kind of sections you should choose? How should you arrange these sections? Again, all these things we talk about in my live course that we are doing coming weekend. So, again, just to give you a perspective about what we're covering in this live course. So, it's a 3 hour course, and we talk about resume building from scratch. So, we talk about what's the difference between a CV and a resume. When should you go for a CV? When should you go for a resume? We shared with you like three different resume formats that really works very well with industries, with companies, both in India and abroad. Yeah. And then after that, we talk about what are the sections that you should include, how should you even write information in these sections. We share a lot of resume samples with you of people who have managed to actually get into big companies with their resume, so that you have an understanding that how am I supposed to prepare a resume, right? And then after that, we do a feedback session with you. So once you've prepared your resume based on the guidelines we've shared with you, I sit down with you personally in a one-to-one session, correct your mistakes. I tell you that, see, this is where you've gone wrong, this is the formatting that is wrong, this is the word that is wrong, correct it. This is a sentence that could have been written better, come on, let's write it together. And that way I ensure that you have a resume which is ready for submission. So we're doing a live course. It's just a 2-day course, 3 hours only. So it's on 24th and 25th of September, which is coming weekend. So you should not miss this opportunity, because this is a time when a lot of people are either going for their placements, applying for internships, higher studies. So do work on your resume, and this is an opportunity for you to do that. Okay. So my two tips to you till now has been: number one, knowing your audience, very important. When you're preparing your resume, it's important to know your audience, who is going to read your resume, what's the job description, and then tailor it accordingly, rather than thinking about you and what you have done in your career and only including those information. They might not even be relevant for you, correct? Second thing is to decide whether you want to go for a one pager or a two pager resume. And the third thing is choosing the sections based on your strengths, right? So these were my three tips to you. Coming to my fourth and the most important tip is that when you are preparing content in your resume, try and incorporate statistics. And what do I even mean by statistics? Say, for example, you worked in a company, okay, and you were managing the digital marketing of that company, and you were helping in increasing the online sales of smartwatches. So somebody who doesn't know the importance of statistics, they might write a statement like, I worked with a team to increase the online sales of smartwatches for the company. But how can you include the statistics here? How can you even make it more powerful? You can write, worked with a team of 5 members to increase the online sales of smartwatches by 15%. So, what did I do? I included statistics in two places here. First, I mentioned that I worked with a team of 5 members, just to show how big was the team and what was my responsibility, what was my contribution. If it was probably a team of 50, my contribution would be very less. But if it's a team of 5, I have higher stakes. I worked more in that team. Correct? And secondly, increase the online sales of smartwatches by 15%. This shows what was the impact I was able to make. If I increase the online sales by 2%, 3%, well, that's not really value adding. But 15% through digital marketing strategies, well, that is really good. And I would like to know more about this person. So I would probably call you for an interview. When you include statistics, it also increases your credibility. When you write vague sentences, people are not sure whether you have even done that work or not. But the moment you include statistics, you say that, yes, I worked with a team of 5 members, I increased the online sales of smartwatches by 15%. I believe you. Yes, you're a credible person. You've actually executed all these things. So, similarly, where can you include statistics? You can include it in your internship section, work experience section, leadership section, skills and certification section as well. So almost all sections, wherever you're explaining your experience, your knowledge, your skills, you can actually talk about percentage, in terms of percentages, in terms of statistics. That really, really adds value to your resume. There are, of course, other things that you can do to make your resume powerful, which is like using resume action words and using the CAR technique. I can't reveal it right now because that's a part of the course. But these things also really add impact to your resume and make you stand out from others. So if you really wish to learn how to create resumes like this, how to create a professional and powerful resume that helps you stand out from others, you should definitely check out this course that we are doing coming weekend, 24th and 25th September. In 3 hours, you will learn how to make a resume, and it's a skill for a lifetime, because resume is something that we always keep updating after every 1 year, every 2 year, whenever we're switching a job, whenever we did an internship, we are always updating our resume. So once you attend this course, it's a lifetime skill that you have gained. You can always update your resume. You will not need professional help after that. And every time you can have that confidence that yes, your resume is one of the better ones out there. And today, if you're getting a short list, it's because of your own qualities, it's because of the strength of your resume, and you're not getting a reject because the quality of your resume was poor, right? That will never be the reason. Finally, the last thing I'd like to tell you is that when you are sending out your resumes, please name them properly. That is so important. I'll come to all your questions in the chat box. I'm just going to share my last tip and then I'll tackle your questions, okay? So, whenever I am also posting jobs for my company and I'm asking people that, I'm hiring and please send out your resumes to me, I'll tell you some of the mistakes that majority of the people do. Some people, they only attach the resume file in the mail and they send it. No, hi, hello, hi, my name is this, that, I'm interested in the position. None of that. They'll just simply attach a resume. If they do that, straight away, even I take their resume and I put it in my trash pile. Anybody who's that lazy and who doesn't feel like even introducing themselves and telling me who they are and why they're interested in this program, I take that email and I put it in the dustbin. I don't want the lazy person to work with. Secondly, what other people do is that their resume file name is resume, just resume, or resume final, or resume version 5, or Sri Ram resume. What is all this, guys? Imagine if I'm getting 100 resumes in a day. Do you really expect me to download all your resumes and rename your resumes for you? Think from the hiring manager's perspective. So, what should you do? How should you send your resumes out to recruiters? Firstly, you should send it out in PDF format. Please do not send in Word document or any other format. And then name your resume properly. So, ideally, what you should do, you should first write your name. For example, Neha Agrawal underscore resume, so that so that very clearly you're telling the person that, see, this is my name, and then what is this document, this is the resume, and then underscore, and you write the name of the position that you are going for example, communication coach, right? So I will write Neha Agrawal underscore resume underscore communication coach. That way, when I'm sending this resume out to somebody, immediately they know. Even if imagine if the HR is hiring for 4 5 different positions and they are receiving emails for all the different positions. The moment I see this resume, immediately I know what is the name of this person, what is this document, and which is the position in my company they are applying for, right? And this really sets a good impression about you, that you do understand who is this person and who is this person on the other side who's reading your resume and what are their requirements. It shows that yes, you take consideration of the fact that the person in front cannot be editing your or renaming your resumes for you, and you are acknowledging that fact, right? So these would be my 5 tips to you guys as to how can you build a professional resume and get that interview call. Please work on all these tips and you will see a difference. If at all you want to learn about resume building in detail, well, I am here for you. I am offering a course. It's a 3-hour course on professional resume building where you will learn everything that there is to know about resumes, CVs, the different formats that are there, how to write your content, how to format it properly, make it look very attractive. All these things we will be covering. And to top it off, I will be giving you one-to-one feedback. I will sit down with you, correct your resume for you, and make it ready for submission. All right. So if you want to know more about this course, well, you can check it out in the chat box. I've put it here. I will also be putting it in the comment section and pinning it there and putting it in the description so you can check there as well. Okay. Coming to your questions now, which is, ma'am, what's the prerequisite for your course? There's absolutely no prerequisite for this course. Anybody at any stage of their professional career can join it. You could be a first year or second year student, you could be a working professional, you could be a fresher right out of college, and this course would be helpful for you. Okay, so there's no prerequisites. Ma'am, how to craft cover letters properly? So, Ritvik, cover letter writing is again an art. I mean, if you want to learn in details, we have a separate course for that as well. You can check it out on our website, wiseupcommunications.com. But otherwise, just to tell you in brief, in cover letters, when you're writing a cover letter, imagine you're writing a formal letter, okay, like how we used to learn as kids. So you first write the company name, where your cover letter was going, the date, then you write your own details, who's sending it out, right? Then you greet the person, for example, dear hiring manager, or the name of the hiring manager, write the subject line, and then after that you break your cover letter into three parts, which is introduction, body, and conclusion. In the introduction part, you talk about who you are and why are you so interested in this position, or what is something unique about you that they should know immediately. In the body part of your cover letter, you further elaborate on your skills, on your experiences, and what makes you a really good uh, fit for that position. You need to let them know. And then in the final part, which is the third paragraph, you again reiterate your interest and summarize all your strengths and why you feel you're a good fit for that position. And then you give them a clear call to action, that I look forward to getting a call about an interview, or I would like to share more about my experience and my skills in an interview if possible, and I look forward to hearing from you. So this is how you close your cover letter in the third paragraph. And then of course you also mention that I'm attaching here with my resume or CV for your perusal, and you attach your resume to it as well. And that's how a cover letter can be written. Okay. Yes. What's your doubt? RVS. What's your doubt? Any other questions? In fact, I'm open to now taking more questions. Anything regarding resume writing that you have a doubt, please tell me and I'll clear it for you right now. RBS, I've already mentioned that there are no prerequisites to my course. Anybody at any stage of their professional career can attend this. Okay. So you could be a second year or first year student, you could be a fresher right out of college, or you could be a working professional with 5 years or 10 years of experience. This course is for everybody who wants to learn a professional resume and how to make one. All right. Any other questions? Yeah, so I mean, if you haven't done any internships yet, if you don't have work experience yet, again, this is something we talk about in the course, that how can you still make a resume which is worth sending out, even if you don't have an experience? Because come on, let's face it, all of us have been in our first year, second year, right? And then we did not have an internship. So it's almost like a chicken and egg story. Until and unless you send out your resume, nobody is going to give you an internship. And until and unless you have an internship, what are you going to write in your resume? But we do talk about a lot of things that you can include in your resume, even if you don't have any internship or work experience. So you can still join the course and we really cover this topic in detail. Okay. Yes, Prashant. So we did speak about that a resume needs to be renamed properly, made into a PDF format, and then sent out. Yes, absolutely. There's more. I mean, I've shared a lot of tips in this video, so you can probably watch it from the beginning. Okay. Any resume tips for a fresher? Yes, well, all the tips that I shared today was for a fresher as well. So do play this video again, and I'm sure you'll find it useful. Okay. So do companies read every resume? No, as I said, companies don't read every resume. They have something called as the ATS, which is the application tracking software through which your resume goes through sometimes. So if you submit your resume and within 10 minutes you get a reject, that's not a human being rejecting you, that's actually a machine or software that's rejecting you. Okay. Ma'am, does an undergraduate need to have a resume? Oh, absolutely. Undergraduates do need to have a resume. When you're going for internships, jobs, you need to share your resume. In fact, as an undergrad, even if you're going for higher education, they ask you to submit a resume or a CV. So you definitely need to work on one. Okay. Any final question? After that, I have to go. I mean, come on, it's a Sunday. Yeah. How long is my course? So the course is for a total duration of 3 hours, split over 2 days. So it's starting next weekend, which is Saturday. Basically, it's on Saturday and Sunday. On 24th, which is a Saturday, we have like a session for 1.5 hours from morning 11 a.m. to 12:30. And on Sunday also we have another session, same 11 a.m. to 12:30. So basically, it's a 3 hour course, and in 3 hours you will learn A to Z about resume building, everything that there is to know. Okay, so to check out this course and what we have to offer, you can check out the link in the description, in the pinned comment, and right now in the chat as well. Okay. What about career break? That's a great question, Aditya. And a lot of students do ask me this: what do I do if I have a career break? How do I show that in my resume? So, the answer here is that you don't have to worry about career break in your resume. There's no need for you to highlight that or point that out. You simply state your experiences, your skills, whatever you've done in your career in your resume. If at all people do have questions about it, they will ask you in the interview, and then you should have an answer prepared for that. But at the resume stage, you don't have to care about it. Ritvik is asking, ma'am, if I make my resume using color, not so many different colors, but one particular color, then it's left good impression or not? Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to make a multicolor resume, Ritvik. In fact, it doesn't look professional. If you stick to a one color, that's absolutely fine as well. So, yes, Aditya. So, interviewers are always, of course, talking about break. So, how are you supposed to tackle this question about career break? Again, that is something we cover in our interview preparation course, and you can get more details about that. So, when you have a career break, you are supposed to justify it as to what exactly were you doing in your career break, just to give you a little bit more understanding. So, you are supposed to justify it and tell them that, see, even if I had a career break, I was not wasting my time. There was something that I was doing which was useful. And you tell them that these are the skills I've gained out of that experience, even though I was not working professionally somewhere. Okay. And that really helps in justifying it why you had that career break and what was your learning out of it. Okay. All right. So, guys, thank you so much for being such a lovely audience and asking such great questions. Thank you so much for joining me. And I really look forward to seeing you all in the course. So, do check it out. And I'll see you next Saturday for this course. Okay. Wish you all the very best for your career journeys ahead. And we'll interact in another live session again. Okay. Bye and have a great, great week ahead. Take care. Bye.